Okay, quick little note for you while it's on my brain. So I'm writing an email to you, but I wanted to kind of just talk about it here. So when I was pregnant with my last baby, I knew I wanted to do it differently, right? I was having a home birth, I was a VBAC, so vaginal birth after cesarean, and it was after a loss, right? I lost my son at 30 weeks. So um, there was a lot going on, right? I wanted to have a redeeming healing birth, right? Instead of an emergency C-section, I wanted to have a healing home birth. This was my first unmedicated birth on purpose and my first home birth. And then we had all these other things that were going on. My partner, my husband, right, he was very nervous. He was not sure if he wanted to go and have a home birth. He was like a little hesitant on that. He thought he would settle on a birth center birth, but home birth was really where my heart was at. So long story short, obviously we ended up doing that. But there was a lot of things, a lot of roadblocks that we had to overcome to make it to this spot, right? I knew that I was going to need more support. I knew that I had to, I was a doula, or I am a doula, but I was a doula at the time. And so I needed to make sure that he understood how to help me. I knew that he was going to want to have tools in his toolbox so that he could feel confident in my body, so that I could trust that he was going to not be scared throughout my labor. And so every single night we would do different things. So we had conversations about things. We would say, okay, well, if this happens, this is what we're going to do next. This is what we would do after that. And then I would talk to him about my fears and my desires. He read, he's not a big reader, but when I asked him specifically, there's like a one chapter in Transformed by Birth by Britta Bushnell that I was like, can you please just read this one chapter? And so he read that. And every night we would do spinning babies. So we would do the 3 Sisters of Balance. And then every time I had contractions, he would push on my back and I had to instruct him exactly where to push. And so when labor came on, he was the best person to put counter pressure on me because he knew exactly where to push. I didn't have to tell him where. He knew because we had practiced all these things. And so now as I've developed my birth class and watched partners come in feeling fearful and anxious and leaving class feeling powerful and confident and excited, it's the best feeling for me to watch that shift. And that's what I want everybody to have in their birth. I want you to have a partner that feels confident in your body and not fearful, because when we have fears that we have not addressed or we're ignoring, they can pop up in labor. You could be laboring and you know that your partner's scared. You know that they're fearful. You know that they're really, really nervous about birth. They don't really know how to touch you in labor, what to say to you in labor, because we become different. We become our primal animalistic self. Most of us, I feel like we drop the nice girl and we are more blunt and we tell you what we need. Hopefully, right? If we've done the work and we don't have that people-pleasing tendency in birth. That's another thing I had to really work on because I do tend to people-please. And anyway, so in birth, I really had to work on that and know that that was something that could come up for me. So there's a lot of things that we talk about in birth class, and a lot of the time it depends what you're struggling with in the moment. And so that's why I really like the hands-on class, because when I was like, oh, I'm going to do online because I'm not going to have time for hands-on classes, I got really sad about it, because hands-on classes for me are where those deep conversations are able to be had. That's where I can really look a dad in their eyes and help them work through that fear. It's one of the best feelings to watch them just process in the moment and hear other dads and partners talk about things together and break down these walls and these barriers of old beliefs and things that they thought they had to do or say or be in birth. And they're like, wow, I can actually be vulnerable and I can share these things. And so I love to we create a safe space together. And every class is different because everybody brings a different element to it. So when I was doing that online, creating the online birth class, I was grieving the hands-on portion, because to me it is so powerful to have that as well. So I wanted to make sure I could still implement that. And so although I can't do 4 weeks every time, like instead of, because I was doing every like 4 weeks, so every month I was doing every single Saturday was doing a new class, and I loved it, but I also can't do that anymore. So what I'm doing now is doing a hands-on class every other month for a full day. So from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. where we dive deep, we do lots of labor practice, we do all the fun stuff. And at home, you're able to listen to the videos and watch the videos and the online content. So you're still learning all the same stuff and probably more, because I'm able to record more and have like a lot more content on because I don't have a time limit. And then we get to do like the immersion, the hands-on stuff in class, and we get to do it together, and we have this community that we build together. And you guys actually, a lot of the time, the couples become friends, and they like to text each other and update each other on their babies, and you go through it together, and it's so beautiful to watch. And so I just felt like I needed to share that, because I just want you to understand where this is coming from and why I've had to shift the way I'm teaching now, and what my vision is, what my dream is for you as someone going to go through labor and parenthood. And even if this isn't your first time, but maybe you want to have a more intentional birth this time. Maybe your first time was traumatic. Maybe it wasn't something that you really, really wanted. Maybe it was okay, right? You were healthy and your baby was healthy, but maybe your experience wasn't what you wanted it to be. And so this time you're going into your labor and your birth and parenthood journey very intentionally, and you know the things that you don't want, but you're not exactly sure maybe on how you want things to go or how things will look. Maybe you had a C-section, right? And so you're like, I don't even know what a contraction feels like. I don't know how I'm gonna handle them. That's what we do. That's what we talk about, we process, and we give, and I love to help you learn coping tools, because you're not a machine. You're not a textbook. The same coping technique that I teach this person is maybe not going to help you. And so a variety of ones is what we like to practice. So I just wanted to share that, because I think it's so important that you kind of understand what it is I am trying to explain and teach, and where my heart and what this vision is coming from. So if you have any questions about this, you can always message me and ask me questions. I am typically available unless I'm at a birth. Or you can just go to my website and read about it. If there's anything that's confusing, I am so approachable. Please just text me or message me or email me or whatever medium you like to use. You can write me a letter and mail it to me. That sounds great. So anyway, I like this to be really laid back and fun. I don't want you to think that this is like homework and we're going to school. It's like, this is an intentional choice that you get to make, right? You get to choose your path. And in order to do that, you have to have the tools. And that's what this is going to give you. Lots and lots of tools that you get to... Why is that paper so loud? That you get to use and empower yourself, right? Like, I don't empower you. I give you the tools so that you can empower yourself. So yeah, the classes too, I just wanted to mention real quick, are not scripted. So I'm not going to be reading from a script and telling you and like reading lines. This is me just how I teach class and talking like this. Like, this is how I teach class, because it is not something that needs to be, I don't even know what the word is right now, but it's not something that I want you to walk away from feeling drained and tired, and I want you to feel excited and more confident in yourself. So that's my vision, that's my goal, and that's my dream for you in this class. So please, if you have any questions, I'm all available. I'm available for you. So anyway, just thought I should explain.